Hey, what is up, guys? So yeah, in the last video we learned a little bit about the for loop. So in this video we're gonna be doing few small programs that basically will enhance our skills with loops, and yeah, we will know the for loops a little more better than we did before. So let's get started. So first, let's build a small program where we will be taking an integer input from the user, and what we're gonna do, whatever the user inputs, we basically will be we will be counting down the numbers from 0 through that number. Okay, so let's say they give us 5, so we will print out from 0 through 5. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so if they say 10, we're gonna say 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so let's get started. First, let's store the user's number in this username variable. Let's convert the user's input in this int, and then let's get the input. Say enter an integer, positive integer. Okay, integer. All right. Okay, now what we're gonna do first, we cannot just hard code it in, and then we cannot just write this print, and then we cannot just type in 1 2 3 4 5, because we have no idea what the user is going to input. So depending on that, we need to know how many numbers we need to write. So we do not know what to do. Okay, so instead of hard coding, we can basically use the for loops, which we have learned in the last class. So if you guys haven't seen that video, so I have a link up in the top, so you can check the video. Okay, so first, let's use the for loop with the for, and then uh, an iterator. So I mean a variable, so it can be this, or it can be one alphabet variable. So let's say I, and then we need to specify how many number of times we want the loop to run. So basically we want the loop to run the the number the user has inputted, so this number, so that number of times we want the loop to iterate, because as it iterates, this I will be taking the value from 0 through that number. So it's going to change from, if the user inputs 5, so first the loop runs, first time it runs, so I is going to be 0, the second time it runs it's going to be 1, and then so on. So we need to write user then num. Okay, so now the thing is, now the problem with this is that this user number, so if the user inputs 5, so this loop's gonna run from 0 to 4, and it's not gonna include 5. So if the user writes 10, it's not gonna include 10. So what we can do is that we can write plus 1, so whatever the user inputs, then we're going to add plus 1, just to make sure that this I changes its value to this user num. Okay, and now we will just print this I. Okay, so let's run positive integer 6, so it should give us 0 through 6. Here we have 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So first time this ran, this print I statement, first time it gave us 0, the second time 1, then 2, so on till 6. Okay, let's do another program. This time we will be skipping the 0. Okay, we do not want to print 0, but we want to print from 1 through that number the user has inputted. It's fairly simple. We just write a conditional statement. So if you guys haven't checked what the conditional statements are, so you can check in my playlist. I have a couple of videos on the conditional statements, and yeah, we also build a small calculator using the conditional statements. So yeah, you can check that out. And then now we want to write the condition. So if I whenever I is greater than 0, okay, so this condition is gonna get executed only when the value of I is more than 0. So what we want to do, we want to print I, okay. So and then when it's not 0, so we do not need that, okay. So let's print positive integer 8. So it gave us 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, okay. So yeah, let's build another program. So this time what we're gonna do, we're gonna print all the even integers from 0 through whatever the user has given in the input, okay. So first let's start for I in, then range. We need to specify the number of times we want the loops to run. So user underscore and then +1. And now each time this runs, we need to check if whatever this value of I is, if that is an even integer or not. So simple math, if I, and then we use this modular symbol. So basically what it does, and then we had this too. So what this modular symbol does is that whenever I is divided by 2, so this modular symbol basically checks the remainder. So whenever this happens, we want the remainder to be 0. So basically meaning that whenever 2 divides I, the remainder is 0. So that basically means the number is an even number. So what we want to do, we want to print I. So if the I is 1, so 1 modulus 2 is not equal to 0, so it's not going to run. But when the I will be 2, then whenever it's divisible by 2, it's going to give this 0 as its remainder, and then we're going to have this print I, which will be an even integer. So let's run. Let's say 18. So we want even integers till 18, from 0 to 18, okay. So you have 0 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 16 18, okay. So that's basically it for this video, and I want you guys to build a simple program where it's gonna get an input from the user, and then it's gonna print all the odd numbers from 0, which is not an odd though, so you don't need to print the 0. So it's gonna print all the odd integers uh, starting from 1 through that specific number which the user has inputted. So yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe and turn the notification bell on. And then yeah, so if you guys like the video, please smash that like button. And yeah, thanks for watching.